You have never been particularly fearful of poltergeists. You've heard all the stories about them knocking over flower pots and such, but the scariest thing about that would be getting an insurance plan that covers it. So when a poltergeist came to your home, you didn't really care. It shifted stuff around, but nothing harmful. You called it Bob, because you figured a regular name suited such a regular haunting. After a while, Bob actually started being helpful. They would move the TV remote within your reach and move the utensils that made it impossible to open the kitchen cabinet. You got the sense that Bob was here to stay and that they wanted to be a welcome presence. One day, you got an idea. You bought a magnetic board and a set of refrigerator magnet letters. They were Halloween themed because of the upcoming holiday. You stuck them all on and made a communication device for Bob. At first, Bob paid no mind to it, just assisting you as usual. Then they said something. "Do you like me?" The question seemed odd. How could you not like Bob after all they did for you? You said that, of course, you liked Bob. "Then help me," came the response. "Well, you figured that you did owe Bob for everything they did." You said, "Sure, you'll help." Bob's response was a long recipe using common items and instructions to pour it in the exact center of the property. You wasted no time whipping up the stuff, calculating where the exact center of your property was, and pouring out the substance. "Thank you" moved the letters on the board immediately after you finished. You were glad to help Bob, though you didn't know with what. You didn't have to wait long. "Now I can be myself," was the next and final message on the board. You were frozen, wondering what that could mean, or more accurately, denying what that most definitely meant. Bob was no longer helpful. They destroyed your valuable possessions and started taunting you by moving nearby objects so that they almost hurt you, but not quite. After a short session of pondering the issue, you decided to leave the house. After coming up with excuses to move out, talking with realtors and looking at new houses far, far away, you decided to seek out someone to tell you more about what you did with Bob. You set up a meeting with a paranormal investigator and tell them what happened. When you finish your story, they shed some light on the subject. They tell you that the wicked are sometimes forced to do good things for the living after they die, for all of eternity. But some of them figured out a way to break out of the punishment by getting the one they help to make a solution and pour it in the center of their haunting ground. They no longer have to do good things, having greatly increased powers, and can move on from their assigned territory. You wrap up the meeting, thanking them and going about the rest of your day. Being enlightened feels better, but not much. Yet, now that you think about it, Bob hasn't done anything in the few times you returned to your house since then. You suppose that Bob might have just gone away since the rules didn't apply to them anymore. You decide to still move for peace of mind. Your new house is great, the neighbors are great, and so is everything else. Until one day, nearly 10 years after you freed Bob, something happens. On the news you hear about a horrible accident. A massive bridge crumbled and took 100 cars with it. Although you felt sorry for all the lives lost, you didn't really care too much. Suddenly, your printer starts whirring and a piece of paper comes out. You are a little confused, but assume that it's just some weird glitch. Technology, right? Then you read what it says and are struck with a mix of fear and guilt. Greetings, former friend. I have been resting up for the past decade and trying some things here and there, but finally I have unlocked my true power and cannot wait to test it out. The bridge was a warm-up, albeit a hefty one. I think that this may be the first time that a wicked spirit has communicated to a human after being released from an eternity of doing good. Though definitely not the first time that this has happened. Millions of us are out there wreaking havoc. You might have heard of the Pompeii volcano eruption or the Titanic sinking. Those were spirits doing their thing. Since Halloween is nearly upon us, I figured I would save my real power for something on that special day. And there is not a single thing that you can do about it. Sincerely yours, Bob.